today's video, I apologize for the little bit of wind noise, but in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made this custom intake for my 2003 Saab 9.3. Now, about 3 months ago or so, I bought a beat up BSR intake that was pretty much cracked from like here back. So I couldn't really use that part of it. Put it on the car, tried to fix it temporarily with like a half-assed job. It didn't work. I ended up getting a check engine light for it. So needless to say, I need to come up with a new solution. So that's what I'm doing in today's video. You guys will see the process of that. I did try a new way of filming this video. I'm going to be doing a voiceover of sorts on it, so you guys will see the process of how it went together, and let me know if you like this type of video. And then of course at the end we'll come back and I'll show you guys what it sounds like and everything. But for this intake, I'm pretty much using 3 different parts. Like I said, when I bought the BSR intake, I already restored it. You know, I painted the heat shield, cleaned the filter really well, everything. I mean, it was a disaster when I got it, but it was like 20 bucks, so I couldn't really complain. So what I ended up doing is taking part of the stock airbox. I got the top half of one at a junkyard. If you missed that video, make sure to check it out up here when you're done watching. So I took about maybe 4 inches of that, and then this is a stock V6 throttle body hose. You'll see me point to where exactly that is in the video, and of course from there on is just the BSR intake. But with that being said, let me know if you guys enjoy this format of the video. Let's get into it, and I'll meet back with you guys in like 5 minutes and we'll see how it sounds. So here's just a shot of the old intake here. You can see it's pretty cracked and beat up on that part where the MAF is. So the first thing I went ahead and did was hooked up the airbox that I got from the junkyard to a vise, just that way it's nice and secure, and then we marked it up for where we're going to cut it, see how much we're going to use, and of course we just took a saw to it. Pretty simple here, just being hard plastic, it wasn't difficult at all to cut through, but yeah, it probably only took a couple minutes to cut through. Watching this and sped up is pretty satisfying, not gonna lie, just seeing it cut through there. But yeah, again, once we finished cutting it off though, we went ahead and we started to sand it down, and you know, there were some nubs that prevented it from being perfectly flat, like that one right there, so we sanded that down so that way the hose could slide over it, smooth it all down all around. So you can see, you know, it's much smoother for the hose to go right over, and it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. So from then, I went and took out all of my stock charge pipes and intake pipes from my Turbo X, and we found one that went through there. Like I said, the throttle body hose. This is just on our V6 Aero. I figured I'd show you guys exactly which one we took. It's that one right there. Of course, goes right up into the throttle body there. So it ended up being the perfect length, so we didn't need to cut it at all. And there it is, just kind of compared to where the stock one is. And here we go, just cutting up the BSR intake. Again, we're cutting off like right after the BSR logo, because we want to keep some space for the hose to attach to. Probably about an inch and a half, I'd say, we kept before that little like thing where it connects to the heat shield. And then you can see just how broken that was. It literally just split into 2 pieces there as soon as we got close to it breaking off. So finished that up, and then did the same thing with the BSR side, of course, sanded it down, got it all smooth, went ahead and trashed those. And then I noticed that this was kind of split open here. So what I did to fix that was I just taped it up like that. It wasn't cracked fully, so this is a good enough solution for now. It's really on there strong. So this is just me assembling to show you guys how it's going to go on the car. And we, like I said, we didn't need to cut that hose at all, so it worked out pretty well. Next, just taking off the old airbox. I feel like I've shown this a million times on the channel before. Pretty simple process, just 5 T25s around the outside. You got 2 T20s for the MAF to take out right there. Again, pretty simple process. Removing these takes like literally 2 minutes to do. And then of course, just a little like 9-30 seconds or something to get that hose clamp off, and then that pulls right out. And like an idiot, I left the camera zoomed in for this part so you can't see the whole thing, but there goes the K&N filter with it as well. And then taking out, I think that's a T30 or 35, and then there's just some rubber bushings that hold that bottom part in, just kind of slides out. So now we're putting the BSR intake back together. These 3 Phillips head are kind of a pain to get in. They're just at weird angles, and you can't really use a screwdriver, so you kind of have to like, I don't know, it's just a pain. But then slipping the filter back on, tightening that down, dropping the BSR intake in. starting to connect it again. Now I do want to note that there are two bolts. I only show one of them here, of course, connecting the MAF. There are two bolts that connect the heat shield to the car. I only showed putting one of them in, which is this one right here, right at the top, kind of by the strut mount. It's just a 13mm. There's a nut, and then there's, of course, the bolts. So that's why I have the wrench there holding that on. But the second one is down kind of on the, you can almost see it in the bottom or the top right corner there. So that's the completed process. That's what it looks like. I think it turned out really good. So now let's head to the outro and see how it sounds. All right, so that is how I made the intake. So let's go ahead, start it up, give a couple revs, and we'll see how it sounds. Of course, this car does also have an aftermarket exhaust on it. If you guys are wondering what my exhaust setup is, click this video up here and watch it when you're done. But here we go. It's just kind of hard to film this blow-off sound on camera, but let's go for a drive real quick. Also, the exhaust backfired a ton there, sounded really good. Happy about that. But yeah, let's go for a quick drive. And of course, because it's automatic, when you change gears, you don't get that blow off every gear change. I'll do a couple like quick little pulls with the windows down, but you should be able to hear it better with the windows up. But I mean, this thing is way louder than the open air intake I have on my V6. Maybe that's just because the 4-cylinder isn't as, or I don't know, maybe my exhaust isn't as loud on it. Go ahead and pop it into manual mode because we're basic. Let's put the windows up. You should be able to hear it better with the windows up. Again, it's probably hard to capture on camera. If you have this intake, I'm sure that you're, yes, I know my airbag light is on. I have to figure that out. That's because of the anniversary seats. Going uphill here. So I think it sounds really good. It really encourages me to drive in manual mode and kind of like let off the gas just that way I can hear that blow off. It sounds really great. Again, there's nothing else done to it, the intake wise, so there's no blow off valve or anything, which by the way, do not put a blow off valve on your Saab 9.3. So I guess on that random comment, it's time to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and again, please stay safe, please stay inside, and just be careful with what you do so that way this can all be over with and we can all go back to our normal lives sooner rather than later. So see you guys next time.